I think I'm gonna make this whole thing a series. I think I'm gonna make it a series because I got a few questions about it, and I just need to, clarify certain things. It's hot, child. It's hot. So I just want to clarify like certain things about things that I said last week on my on my video. So my message was block and move on, and so a lot of people there was a lot of questions. So let me clarify that. Why did you block and move on? Don't just don't be irrational, and there's another word that I'm looking for. I don't know, but irrational. There's another word. When you're unreasonable. Unreasonable? Is that the word? Unreasonable, yes. Don't be unreasonable and block a person after they do one thing that could have been corrected. You know what I'm saying? There's this lady that said, maybe I should switch off these lights by the time. There's this lady I saw on TikTok, right? She says she wants to leave her man because she wants him to marry her, but he can't because he's broke. He's still studying to be a pilot. They met in college and all of that, and she studied to be a pharmacist, and he changed his career path to a pilot, right? But I don't think I got the story properly. I think he treats her right. Everything else is right, and she's only 25. Everything else is right. It's just she wants a ring, but the guy can't give her a ring right now. But it's not like he's just sitting around being a lazy bum. Like, he's literally studying to be a pilot. You know what I'm saying? Those are not grounds for her to leave, unless he's doing something else that we don't know. Then maybe yes, but those are not grounds. According to me, those are not grounds for her to leave. Like, if my person is grinding and I know that you're gonna be a pilot and we're grinding together, and the only thing right now that's bothering me is marriage, sweetheart, but you've been treating me well, that's no ground to leave somebody, according to me. So that's the type of thing so yes, those are the things. Am I still fine? Also, so those are the things that I'm saying, you don't need to leave somebody when you see somebody is putting in effort. What I meant last week was, if someone is not putting in effort, and this person has been a narcissist all your life, and you don't see any improvement, you speak on it, but this person is stuck in the victim mentality. It's literally, there's no need for you to want to make it work with somebody like that. There's no need for you to want to fix it with somebody like that, because they're not willing to change. They're not willing to make it right or try to hear you out. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of person that you block. But also, with that being said, we need to understand that, especially going to the parents topic, because I touched on that also last week, we need to understand that our parents, our family members, the aunt that was terrible, we need to understand that those people, it's their first time living this life as well. It is literally their first time doing this thing as well. And our parents are quite traumatized, but that is no excuse for them to treat us the way that they did, your friends the way that they did, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, it's the first time they live this life, so we need to extend them the grace, the same grace that we would like for them to, give us. You know what I'm saying? So, if you had a conversation with a person that you're saying you're going to block or you want to move from, and this person is not trying to understand, if you set them down in your adulthood now, because I take it the people that watch my videos are adults, and if you sit them down in your adulthood, you're like, hey, I've been this way because of you. My relationships didn't work out because of you. ABCD happened because of you. Let me give you guys an example, right? I was a very angry teenager, a very bitter teenager. And I feel like not in every, but most black households, we weren't really told, I love you. I think our parents were shown that love is you putting food on the table. Love is you clothing me. Love is you putting a roof over my head so I can be sheltered and safe. But it was never the words of affirmations. It was never physical. It was never, not physical in the sense of like you showing me with these like basic needs, but like physical, like hugs, like, you know, like stuff like that. We're still very weird at home. We're still very weird about touching each other. It's weird. My sister's very weird about hugs. Like, she don't like hugs at all, child. Like, even me, it took me a while to adapt to hugs like that, but I don't really like being touched like that, unless obviously I'm my person. But I was in a relationship in high school. I liked this guy for such a long time. I liked him for like 3 years. I had a crush on him. And we dated when he left high school. I think I was still in grade 10. And this guy loved me. This guy loved me. And for me, because that was a foreign thing for me. I wasn't familiar with that type of thing. It scared me. And so the first thing, I was in fight or flight, and I ran, child. That was like the first thing for me, because it's like, why do you love me? Why are you showing me affection? This person went as far as, and we're still in high school, mind you, okay, grade 10. This hasn't happened to me. This person went as far as introducing me to his mom. This person respected me, okay? Like, we were both virgins at the time. He didn't want to break my virginity. He didn't want to rush me, nothing. This person was unapologetically himself. Okay, like he is still very good looking, but he wasn't like, it didn't get to his head. Like, he listened to, at the time, weird music, and he loved it. And I loved him for that. I loved the fact that he could be unapologetically himself. And when he then reflected that, it was foreign, because I didn't know who I am. I didn't love myself, therefore I didn't know who I am. So if you're trying to love me, for me, that was scary, because I don't know what that was. I always had to work hard to be loved, because that's something that comes from, you know, as like a child. I always had to work for validation, for attention. So when this person loved me just for being me, it was scary, because that is something that I come from, you see. And this is like a generational thing. Our parents are raised a certain way, and this is how they know how to do things. Just like everything else in the world, just like izangoma. That is how they know how to twasisa umuntu, because now about twasisa njalo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a pattern until someone stands on business. They're like, this is not my journey. This is not how my journey is supposed to go. This is not how I feel. And so I'm not going to continue with that. You see what I'm saying? So we need to offer each other grace. We need to be, we need to be sympathetic. Like, we're all doing this for the first time. We are all learning from each other. So before you take that decision to block somebody, make sure that you understand the person. Don't go to that person with with malice, with like, and you just want to fight, and you just don't be confrontational. I heard this from Sis Tebi7. She's on TikTok. She's amazing. I heard this from her. Like, if you want to heal yourself and that person and the relationship, or you just trying to move forward for yourself, try to understand the person first. Try to get answers first, and don't be confrontational. Yes, it's upsetting. It's quite upsetting, like when you try to speak to somebody and they're always in victim mode. When you try to understand somebody, but they don't want to be understood. It's because they have taken, like, all these years, it's been like that for them. It's been, people are just trying to attack me. Everyone is attacking me, and people will attack you if that is the mentality that you're in. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, when you try to confront, or when you try to speak to somebody like that, they feel like you're confronting them or you're fighting them, and therefore they are in survival defense mode, and they just want to fight. So it's very important for you to heal yourself and go to these people from a loving place. There's definitely people in my life that I wouldn't talk to again, but I have taken the time to sit down. There's an ex of mine that actually just did this. I have taken the time to just sit down and understand, why did you treat me this way? What was it that, how were you affected as a person, as a child, to make you, live the way that you do, to make you treat the people the way you do, to make you do the things that you do. Try to understand people from that perspective, and then I think that will definitely help you with like your trauma and like moving forward. Even though you're not gonna mend the relationship with this person, but it helps a lot to sit down and speak to the person, because we're gonna be angry and all of that, and you're still giving that person energy. You're still sending energy their way, even if you are like away from this person and you block them, but energy is still going to that person, you see. So it's important for you to make peace with the situation, if the person is willing to do that. But if the person is in victim mentality, like I said, in victim mode, there's absolutely no reason for you to wanna communicate with somebody like that, because that person is refusing to grow, you see. So before you block and move, before you want to move that way, have a conversation. Have a conversation with a person, just like you would want someone to have a conversation with you and speak to you. There's some things that I don't know. There's some things that I do that I didn't know I did. Like, I was extremely selfish. Okay, and I'm definitely I've worked on it, and I'm still working on it. But I was very selfish, and my sister would always tell me, "Bro, you're quite selfish. You're a dick," and that is because I had to teach myself to do it myself and to do it for me, cause ain't nobody there for me. Ain't nobody gonna do it for me, so I have to do it for me. But genuinely, there were people that wanted to love me, like the ex I mentioned. There were people that wanted to be there for me, but I wouldn't let that, because it was like, you just gonna do this so I can be vulnerable, and when I'm vulnerable, you gonna push me away. You ain't gonna love me. I'm gonna have to get hurt again, so absolutely not. But I worked on that. I'm still working on it, and I see a lot of improvement, and so do the people around me. So you would want someone to give you that. You would want someone to sympathize, empathize with you, and to give you like a chance, because we're doing this for the first time. So offer someone else the same. Why I keep like, I'm looking for this word and it just doesn't want to come. The same, be graceful. Offer someone the same grace that you would like to be. Am I saying it right? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I feel like what I just said, like I'm saying it wrong. But you guys, it's Ngesi, it's not Singesiing right now. But yeah, do that. That's my message for today. Do follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I will link it down below. Subscribe here, comment, like, share. Do the things that you need to do. Thank you so much for joining me.